Hello, Princeton Patriots. What a cruddy rainy day it is, but I'm here to share you with my backdrop here as the book fair because we haven't had it yet, but hopefully we will when we get to come back. So it's here waiting on you. So I thought I'd share a book with you, the first chapter of a book that I got from the book fair, Swimming with Dolphins. I'm going to read you chapter 1, and I want you to think about my characters. Let me just give you a little hint here. There's 3 main characters, and they all kind of have the same name, but it's all spelled different, so it's kind of hard to keep up with. Katie and KT, and as you can see, they're spelled different, and the girl telling the story in the wheelchair is initials KT. So bear with me as we go from that. But I hope you guys are reading and doing something. I've listened to several books on tape already and read many. I know that the rain, we can't go outside, but hopefully this epidemic will end soon. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay clean. That's the best advice I can give you. That's what they keep telling me. So, this is Swimming with Dolphins, and I wrote Jessie Paddocks, and she sent me the sweetest email back and told me how grateful she was that I picked her book to read to y'all. So, we have her permission. Everything's great. So, let's start out with chapter 1. For probably the first time ever, we're silent. Katie, KT, and I sit at our usual yellow table at Jake's Freeze, our favorite ice cream shop. In front of Katie sits a soft serve swirl of hot fudge with vanilla ice cream. It looks like a melting volcano. Katie stabs a spoon into her cup of strawberry ice cream. I resist the urge to pick up a crayon and doodle on the scrap paper scattered among our scoops because our attention is focused on something else, the empty chair parked at the end of the table. At least a minute goes by. I fiddle with my left earring, a small silver stud in the shape of a dolphin. I got it for my birthday almost a year ago, and I never take it off. This is hard, I sigh. Oh, harder than the last chair naming ceremony for sure, KD agrees, but we got this. What about Beatrice? Nah, that makes her sound old. More like vintage, but fine. Katie rolls her eyes to be annoyed. And so Katie and I often disagree, but we love each other often more for that. I grin and take a lick of my cone. Rocky Road with chocolate sprinkles, my very favorite. Jake's makes the best Rocky Road in all of Iowa City. And it's not just because he's the only ice cream shop with actual homemade ice cream. It sounds cheesy, but ice cream made with love. Well, you get it? Sapphire, Katie suggests. Oh, that would make sense. She's black and purple, not green, I say. Well, sapphires are blue, Katie says gently. You both are so literal. We're both literal Libras, I joke. We all chuckle. None of us know anything about astrology, just that our October birthdays make us all Libras. If you want to be more accurate here, we need something that really implies girl boss. Well, deaf. Nah. Again, we fall into silence. The one day out of the box grew as new wheelchair practically sparkles in the early afternoon light. Then there's more silence. Katie, KT, and I have been BFFs for 6 years. C2K squad. We call ourselves because Katie's name starts with a C and Katie's and mine start with K's. In addition to having the same name, despite the different spellings, we all have October birthdays. We always have a joint birthday party, not to brag, but our parties are the best. Everyone knew it, and every year we pick a different theme. But the thing that makes them so fun is that everybody is invited. None of that nonsense where cool kids excludes the less cool kids. The first year of our joint party, we decided it was too stressful to even think about guest list politics. Come one, come all, and pretty much everyone comes. Afterward, the 3 of us always have a sleepover at my house. And that's when my parents always have me a Rice Krispie treat waiting. We've been planning our upcoming 13th birthdays all summer long. It's going to be the most epic yet. That was until I try not to think about it. I grab a crayon. Bluetiful, the wrapper reads. I begin to sketch the only thing I know how to sketch. Mr. Jake equips every table in his shop with a jar of crayons and scrap paper. He says sketches and scoops go together like whipped cream and sundaes. She's really a beauty, I say, licking off the few remaining sprinkles off my scoop. my friends agreed. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Mr. Jake wiping off a nearby table. After Katie and Katie think I will miss Mr. Jake the most. I've spent countless hours at Jake's Freeze. On Friday nights, it's the place to be. My ice cream order hasn't changed in years, but he always lets me behind the counter to look at any new special flavors anyway. The ledge on the customer side facing the freezer is just a few inches too tall for me to see over but the around back where the scoopers stand, the edge doesn't come up as high and I can peep inside, no problem. I've been a certified VIP at Jake's since I won the Name the Flavor contest when I was in 2nd grade. Dolphin Leap, a delicious mix of blueberry and vanilla cream, stayed on the menu that whole year. I always thought I'd get a job scooping ice cream for Jake in the summer when I turned 14. I pushed that thought out of my head. This concentrated silence is starting to get to me. We can talk about something else, I say. I don't want to take up our final minutes together stressing over a name. We should think about our outfits for the first day of school. Not that they'll be going to see mine, I think. I won't be going into the 7th grade with Katie and Katie. Iowa Middle for them, and Fernbank Middle School all the way down in Florida for me. That's right. No hope of us being in the same English class. No chances of arriving at our first 7th grade dance, arm in arm. Definitely not going to Resurrect Summer. Oh, the list goes on. Don't be silly. This is important. Yes, team effort, Katie confirms. My heart smiles. I love my friends. It's got to be the perfect name. Katie furrows her brow, thinking in her face. Show some Midwestern flair to those kids down in Florida. Well, it took less convincing than I expected for my parents to get me this chair. Not like they would deny me a wheelchair. It's how I get around after all. Always have, always will. But this one is super fancy. Like less than 20 pounds, state of the art, and even comes in my favorite color. Major upgrade. A brand new chair would have been out of the question. Wheelchairs aren't cheap, you know. But Mom is a pro at finding great deals online. My old chair, Wiggles, wasn't necessarily ready to officially retire, although she was looking a little battered around the edges. I didn't quite want to put it this way. I have manners, of course, but since Mom and Dad are moving us all the way down to Florida, I thought less than 60 days for my 13th birthday, with basically no warning, away from everything I know and love, I figured a spiffy new ride wasn't too much to ask for. I was born and raised in Iowa City, so I don't know a ton about being the new kid. But I'm pretty sure that if you show up on the first day of 7th grade in a clunky, not so polished chair, that would be, whoo. I got it. I tear my eyes from my drawing. Not my best work, but not my worst either. And focus on Katie. She looked determined. Priscilla. Oh, that sounds like a doily, I say, with a giggle. Katie shakes her head and laughs. Or a princess, Katie says. But now that I think about it, my cousin Priscilla acts like a total princess and not in the cute or vintage way. So scratch that one. This beautiful hunk of rubber and steel and glory deserves a name as beautiful and glorious and strong as KT herself. Yes, and Libri as KT herself, Katie agrees. And as rubbery and steely, I'm as rubbery and steely as they come. I flex my arm muscles and growl. We all start giggling and then full on laughing because even without saying anything, we know that I'm referencing to the time when Inurit gave me a Valentine that was actually a stick figure drawing of him that he was flexing. My cell phone buzzes in my lap. A text from Lucy. She's my big sister. Pops up. 5 away. I'm really going, I say. I was hoping all this would be a dream and that it would just evaporate before it was too late. And as if they were reading my mind, because let's be honest, both Katie and Katie can basically read my mind, Katie throws her arm around my shoulder and Katie reaches across the table and takes hold of my free hand. Nothing is going to change, Katie assures me. Well, okay, like literally everything is going to change. But that's only from the outside. On the inside, we're the same. K2 squad for life. I nod, but I feel the tears rushing from that place where they hide, deep behind my eyeballs. I blink them away quickly and pop the final bite of my cone into my mouth. Sorry, I don't mean to be so dramatic, I say once I finish chewing. Katie nearly cuts me off. I don't think shedding a tear at a time like this counts as dramatic. Yeah, Katie says softly, you can cry. We promise we won't watch. That makes me smile. I feel like I'm moving to a postcard. Is it even real down there? I've only ever seen pictures of the ocean. Never seen it in real life. All those photos look kind of fake. The palm trees and Kool-Aid colored water, sea animals jumping all over the place. Can it really exist, right? I don't know. Don't act like you don't want to see dolphins leaping out of the water. That's like your dream, Katie says. Well, you're not wrong, I admit. There we go. 3 points for Florida. Katie says, always, hang on here. Always the optimist, my good friend, by the way. Katie points to the beautiful dolphin I've absentmindedly drawn, and the dorsal fin is a little off if you ask me, but it's fitting. It's fitting that I'm a genius at drawing my favorite animal. Look, Katie begins. Sorry, not so sorry to brag, but I'm like 10,000 subscribers away from being YouTube famous. Katie and I roll our eyes. Katie has been pushing hard for YouTube fame all summer. In June, she was all about makeup tutorials. But then her mother called her and said 12 is way too young to wear eyeliner. I helped her film a gazillion videos of her performing Shakespeare-inspired sonnets I had written from the perspective of her dog. This past month, she decided to invent her own victory dance that will be so hilarious all college players will want to use it when they score, and they will have to pay her a fee or something. Well, I don't totally follow the logic, but she's convinced. I wish I was going to be here next month to see what ridiculous / completely hilarious idea that she's going to come up with next. Seriously, Katie shouts, the second I get my first sponsor, I'm buying Katie and me a first-class ticket to come see you. We'll all be teenagers by then, and it'll be great. Oh, I inhale. A little loose sprinkle falls on the table. I resist the urge to eat it. I need to spit out what I've been thinking about that since the moment I knew I was leaving, and I can't avoid it any longer. You should still have the party. Are you crazy? Katie said, almost spitting out a mouthful of strawberry ice cream. Katie dropped her spoon into a hunk of hot fudge and leans back, crosses her arm and gives me her tough look. Oh, Katie is nearing tears, and Katie appears ready to rumble. Typical. I can't help but crack a smile. I love how well I know my best friends. I'm serious, she says. Just because I won't be here doesn't mean that you both won't be turning 13. Not celebrating a birthday is like a cardinal sin. Plus, Resurrect Summer is way too good a theme to bail on. The irony of this is that I'm moving to a place where it's practically always summer is not lost on me. Well, that is so not the point, Katie challenges. We could never do it without you. Besides, what would be the fun of throwing a big birthday party if we didn't argue with me about the decorations? I still can't believe you want us to make 40 mermaid tails by hand that time. Nothing beats homemade decor, Katie says. We dissolve into giggles, the kind of laughter that makes your stomach hurt, but it's also different from crying. The cowbell over the door clanks behind me. Lucy's arrived. I know it's her by the look on Katie and Katie's faces. Even after 6 solid years of BFF friendship, they still blush when Lucy is within earshot. No matter how many times I tell them that Lucy is quiet because she's shy, not because she's mean. She's basically the biggest softie ever, who would rather play video games than be mean to 12-year-olds. They can't get over being intimidated by my big sister. Well, I feel a tug on the back of my strawberry blonde fishtail braid. Hey, Katie lady, she says. Hey, other Katies. Hi, my friends chirp in unison. I hate to break up the party. Oh, and Kay, you have sprinkles on your lips, she said. I wiped what feels like more sprinkles than humanly possible off my mouth with the back of my hand. I'm not embarrassed. All present company knows I'm a messy sprinkle eater, and that's all there is to it. That's when it hits me. Oh my gosh, sprinkle, that's it, I exclaim. Sprinkle, they repeat. You love sprinkles, it's perfect, Katie confirms. It's not too, I don't know, flashy for her, I say, waving my fingers in the air. What I really mean, is it too flashy for me? No way, it's perfect, Katie says. Perfect for both you and your new chair, Katie adds. More perfect than perfect? I'll take your word for that. Sprinkle it is, I say, relieved to have finally made a decision. It's not right to use a chair before giving her a proper name. Everybody knows that. Okay, you goofballs, I don't exactly know what you're talking about, but KT, Mom, and Dad are trying to get on the road before the next touchdown. Dad thinks it's bad luck to begin a road trip while you're in the end zone for some reason. Lucy and I share a good-natured eye roll. My parents are obsessed with Iowa Hawkeye sports, football in particular, as most people in Iowa City. I'm surprised they even consider living outside the range of a local radio station. I don't totally care about football. I know for a fact that those helmets don't protect players well. But I do love when everybody in Iowa City has something big to care about together, even if it is football. I'm about to scooch from my seat at the end of the booth and onto Sprinkle when my dolphin doodle catches my eye. Along with the coloring sprinkles on the table, Jake has a bulletin board by the register where anyone can pin up their artwork. On Sundays, the wall resets, so it's like a rotating so the wall's like a rotating gallery. Though my drawing skills don't extend much beyond aquatic life, like fish, seaweed, and shellfish, they're my specialties. I got to represent the Wynn family. I always tack up my dolphin on the right side closest to the window, but today, my last day at Jake's Freeze, with my two best friends in the entire world, I have a better idea. I grab another crayon, something in the violet family color. I scrawl out C2K for life above the dolphin. Then I tear the drawing in half. One for Katie, one for KT. I hand them over. For life, I whisper. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I'm not alone. As we hug goodbye, we hide our tears from no one. After the waterworks die down, Lucy nudges me. It really is time to go. On my way out, I make sure to catch Mr. Jake's attention. How was your cone, he asks. A+, I give him a high five. Oh, Mr. Jake is the oldest and kindest person I know. He's had this shop since my parents were students at the University of Iowa, aka a million years ago. You better send some sunshine from Florida come December, he says. I manage a smile, even though something about his request makes my heart ache a little bit more than it already does. Okay, express mail, I promise. Mr. Jake gives my head a pat, and then he leans down for a hug. He smells like sweet cream and peanut butter. He says, I'll miss you, Rocky Road with chocolate sprinkles. I'll miss you too, I say. I want to say, but no words will come out. I just hold on tight. That's the end of the first chapter. I hope you will join me in finding out the adventures that KT's going to have when she moves to Florida. Remember, the title is Swimming with Dolphins. Now, on another note, I hope y'all are reading. Reading is power. Power is knowledge. So let's keep reading. And I will see you in a couple of days with Chapter 2. Think about the setting, our three main characters, and a little bit about each one of them. You guys have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.